Okay, let's unpack this. When you think of those iconic Tamiya RC cars, from their golden age back in what, 76 to 91, like the Grasshopper, maybe the Avante, you
Right.
probably think straight away about the groundbreaking engineering.
Sure,
from
that's
that.
the obvious thing.
But this deep dive we did into their first 100 kits, it reveals something else, something really intriguing. Their naming strategy. It seems like that was just as crucial to, well, why they've lasted.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fascinating because Tamiya, they were already known for incredible precision. Static models, that was their background.
Right.
And they brought that same, meticulous approach to their new remote control line. Their very first electric RC car, the Porsche 934 Turbo RSR in 1976.
Yeah.
That wasn't just some model based on pictures. Tamiya actually dismantled a real Porsche 911 Turbo to create it.
No way. Really?
Yeah. So that name, Porsche 934, it was like an affirmation, total authenticity.
Mm.
And it pretty much single-handedly kicked off the whole RC car boom. They weren't just selling a toy, they were selling identity, aspiration,
My.
right from day one.
Okay, so that initial realism, leaning on real car names, that makes perfect sense, leveraging that motorsport prestige.
Exactly. Licensed realism, we call it.
But then, as Tamiya started pioneering those unique off-road buggies, the ones that didn't really have a real-world car to copy, how did the naming strategy change? What was the next step there?
That's a great question because, yeah, they couldn't just keep licensing Porsches or Formula One cars forever, especially for buggies. They needed something totally new.
Yeah.
And this led them to what we found as a category of animal and insect metaphors.
Okay, like the frog.
Precisely.
Yes,
A frog, a name that instantly tells you something about how it moves, right? Nimble, jumping, off-road. Or the hornet suggesting speed, maybe a bit aggressive, certain feistiness.
And that word, you pick up on that, the frog, the hornet.
Yes. That little word is actually pretty clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't just a frog. It was the frog. It makes them singular, iconic.
Right, it gives them this, well, almost mythic status, like they're characters in a story.
Exactly. You got it. It creates an immediate sense of personality, makes them feel less like generic toys and more like these individual entities. Heroes, almost, in the minds of the kids buying them. It wasn't just about saying what it was. It communicated personality, capability, instantly.
So, okay, animal metaphors make sense for performance, but how did they give personality to some of the even more imaginative designs, the ones maybe not directly tied to speed or jumping? What was next?
Well, they sort of leaned into playful characterization.
Yeah.
That's where you get names like Wild Willie.
Yeah, the Jeep.
Right. It took a military Jeep lookalike and just gave it this crazy daredevil persona, a rambunctious character you wanted to drive. Or think about Lunchbox
Yeah.
and Midnight Pumpkin. I mean, those names are completely detached from performance specs, aren't they? They don't tell you how fast it goes or how well it handles. They just evoke pure, imaginative fun, a kind of irreverent charm. It was less about winning the race and maybe more about just having a blast.
I love that. It sounds like they really tapped into that, that slightly mischievous kid spirit, probably better than any complex spec sheet ever could.
Definitely.
But then we see another shift, right? With their high-performance four-wheel drive buggies, they moved from playful stuff like Lunchbox to names like Thundershot and Avante. Was there a risk there, like losing some of that charm, or did it just signal the brand growing up?
That's a really crucial point. For those advanced models, a totally new kind of language emerged.
Yeah.
Abstract force and weaponry.
Okay.
So the Hotshot, their first 4WD, kind of set the tone. Then you get names like Thundershot evokes sheer, unrestrained power.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's the Avante, a very aspirational name.
Mm.
It signifies advanced tech, avant-garde design.
Mm.
It was signaling a new era, dominance on the track.
So less charm, more power.
I wouldn't say it was about losing charm, necessarily. It was more about elevating the brand, maybe empowering the driver with this sense of owning cutting-edge tech.
Mm.
And if you look at the data, the numbers from those first 100 models show a really clear trend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, licensed realism was dominant early on, sure. But by the end of this golden era, names reflecting abstract force and weaponry, they made up nearly half, almost 50% of their new kits.
Wow.
It really reflected Tamiya's growing confidence. They could create their own brand prestige, their own identity. They didn't need to borrow it from Porsche anymore.
So pulling this all together then, Tamiya's naming journey, it went from borrowing prestige to, well, forging its own mythology. It was genuinely as innovative as their engineering work. They didn't just sell RC cars.
No, they were master storytellers. They were experts at imbuing plastic and metal with a kind of soul. And that's why names like Frog or Avante aren't just product codes.
They unlock this flood of memories of emotion. And honestly, that's precisely what drives the enduring cultural value and, yeah, the monetary value, too, of these models today.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, what other brands out there have managed to create that kind of powerful, lasting mythology just through the names they choose, something to think about.